We're here at Spieker Point, Software Engineering and Solutions, at their open house and 8th anniversary. Welcome to FusedLogic TV. I'm your host, Walter Schwabe. We're here at Spieker Point, and I'm joined by Greg Campbell, the President and CEO. Greg, welcome back on set. You know, we've been talking throughout the night here at your open house about analytics and everything to do about that. Let's get specific and talk a little bit about the financial fraud industry and how actually there might be, or not industry, but issue. And let's get into the insurance side of the business. Is there fraud happening in the insurance side?
Absolutely, and we have an interesting bench strength in terms of financial fraud detection, and we're trying to translate that over to the insurance fraud industry. What we see with both financial fraud and our early investigations into insurance fraud, turns out that it's really the merchant who is the biggest offender with respect to that fraud that's happening there. It's not us in the that are the owners of the credit cards, or in this case users of the let's say medical system. It's actually the proprietors out there who are running transactions multiple times from your Visa card, or in the insurance side of things, that are charging for services that you haven't used in that particular facility.
Well, when you mention bench strength, we've had Steve Hole, who's your software architect,
Exactly.
and he's got a lot of experience in that area. I would imagine that there's a ton of opportunity out there to really help insurance companies deal with this, especially, as you say, in the medical side of things. Is it just strictly in Alberta that you're doing business, or do you look for opportunities outside of the province as well?
We do look for opportunities outside the province. We are doing business in Europe right now, as well as other parts of North America. So, you know, that certainly is, global economy is what it is these days. So we are doing work all over the place.
Sounds like a really large market to me.
Well, certainly, and insurance fraud is kind of interesting compared to financial fraud, in that financial fraud, there's trillions of transactions on a monthly basis. You know, it's a huge data set to be able to draw conclusions from. Insurance fraud, while the data set still is fairly large, it isn't quite as large as that insurance market. So, you know, we have to be a little bit more clever about how we are looking for fraud patterns and fraud detection.
Right. Well, listen, kudos to you to getting one of the best in the business on your team.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with Greg Campbell, who's the President and CEO of Spieker Point, here at his open house. We've been talking analytics all night. Take a look at some of the other videos that we've been creating tonight here on FusedLogic TV. I'm your host, Walter Schwabe. Thank you for joining us.